Living in this small town, you will be on a downward spiral of ill health and at the risk of premature death or the impairment of quality of life caused by poor physical or mental health.
Hello, what's that crack? What's the story? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out the 10 poorest places in the UK. I think there's gonna be a few places like I don't want to say Birmingham, but there's a few places in Birmingham that's poor. It's bad. It's very, very bad. And I live in Birmingham, I can say that. I'm guessing a few places in Wales as well, in Scotland. Enough chatting, let's get into it.
10 poorest places in the UK. 10. Newport, Wales. We're starting in Wales. One of the poorest places in the UK is a city and county borough in Gwent in Wales. We are referring to Newport, which is situated on the River Usk, close to the river's confluence with the Severn estuary. It is 19 kilometres northeast of Cardiff. Newport's population of 145,700 at the 2011 census notwithstanding, all is not going on fine with the city. It can't get past its nagging poverty. Imagine this. Of Newport's 95 neighbourhoods in Newport, 23 currently rank among the most deprived in Wales. Do the math and you'll find out that this is about 24% of the authority. That's the biggest percentage of deprivation in the country. 9. Greenock, Inverclyde, Scotland.
Well, do you know what's crazy? When I think of Newport, I'm thinking of seaside. Am I going crazy? You'd have thought places like Newport, there'll be so much they love tourism going on there, so they will have a lot of money coming in. But am I going crazy? Is Newport not near a seaside? See, first place in Scotland. I knew it was gonna be Scotland. Let's go.
Wales doesn't have a monopoly on poor places. Scotland has at least one of the 10 poorest places in the UK. You'll find the 9th on our list in Inverclyde. This is Greenock, a town and administrative centre in the Inverclyde Council area. The town, with a population of 44,248, is located in the west central lowlands of Scotland. As proof of how gripping the poverty state of this town is, its population reduced by almost 3,000 within 10 years. In a report that shows how poor some parts of the nations are, Greenock tops the list. In the Scottish Index of Multiple
some of these places, do you think they're poor because of what people do over there? I'm guessing this kind of places, there isn't a lot of industrial. You ain't gonna see, a medical company there. It's probably gonna see a lot of farming going on there. A lot of, a lot of farm stuff. Sorry, I don't know a lot about farming. But yeah, let me know. Do you guys think that's why places like this, is considered poor? Let me know. Thank you.
Deprivation for 2020, Greenock has the highest number of deprived areas in Scotland. 8. Halton, England. England too has some of the poorest places in the UK, and the first of these on this list is the 8th poorest place in the UK, Halton. The district and unitary authority that registers its name on this list has a borough status in Cheshire. When you consider its ranking as one of the worst areas in England and Wales by a global children's charity that also ranks Halton as one of the worst areas in England and Wales to be a girl, you will understand why Halton slipped into the rank of the 20 most deprived areas in England. Other indices like life expectancy, children poverty, which is 25%, health inequality and unemployment rates are not in a positive light for this district. 7. Merthyr.
No, that shocked me. When I think of Cheshire, I think of rich, posh. Oh, why? And also it said for women as well, for girls, it's not a good place for girls to grow up. Why? I think they're not really describing. If you know anyone from Halton or if you've been there, you feel like you know the reason why, please let us know. Merthyr, how do you pronounce that? It reminds me of that stuff from Little Britain. What's it called again? The only gay in the village. What's that village called again? That's what this reminds me of. Sorry.
Tydfil, Wales. We're back in Wales to find Merthyr Tydfil, the main town in Merthyr Tydfil County Borough, as the 7th of the 10 poorest places in the UK. The town, administered by Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council, is about 37 kilometres north of Cardiff. Often called Merthyr, the town, believed to be named after Tydfil, daughter of King Brychan of Brychinlog, has a population of 43,820. This town seems to be hitting above its weight as the go-to place for those looking for gloomy job news. As of March 2018, the unemployment rate was 5.7%. Even though it's an iron producer, poor transportation service is the bane of this town that makes it so poor. 6. South Elmsall, England. South Elmsall is a small town and civil parish lying to the east of Hemsworth with a population of 6,519. When it comes to safety, this town is among the most dangerous of small towns, villages and cities in West Yorkshire. It's faring badly in income deprivation, employment deprivation, education, skills and training deprivation, health deprivation and disability. The 2021 overall crime rate in South Elmsall was 111 crimes per 1,000 people. Living in this small town, you will be
111 crimes per 1,000 people. 1 in 10, basically. That's a lot. It's always these small places you don't think of. I feel like the fact that if you don't live in major cities in the UK, like London, Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, you just forget about all these little towns and see what? That's a lot. I wasn't expecting that. Let's go back.
Was 111 crimes per 1,000 people. Living in this small town, you will be on a downward spiral of ill health and at the risk of premature death or the impairment of quality of life caused by poor physical or mental health. 5. The Isle of Sheppey. Even the Isle of Sheppey on the northern coast of Kent doesn't go unnoticed. The island near the Thames estuary, centred 67 kilometres from central London, has an area of 93 square kilometres. It's a part of the local government district of Swale. The major clog in the wheel of progress of this island is the lack of investment on the island and its surrounding areas. And the economy of this
They have dominoes. Come on. They have dominoes. I'm like, if you have dominoes, you're doing alright. Sorry.
island is the lack of investment on the island and its surrounding areas. And the economy of this place has nosedived, causing many industries to leave the town. In this one of the poorest areas in the UK, there's little growth and prospect. 4. Hartcliffe, Bristol. Hartcliffe is an outer suburb of the city of Bristol and lies within that ward. It is a district and a council estate on the southern edges of the city, sitting next to Withywood on the northern slopes of Dundry Hill. About 69,000 people in Bristol are in the bottom 10% of most deprived parts of England. This number includes 17,800 children and 10,500 elderly people. This city has so much more to contend with in terms of antisocial behaviour and deprivation statistics. Frankly speaking, life in Hartcliffe is far from being a bed of roses. A critical look at it places it amongst the poorest places to live in the United Kingdom. 3. Great Yarmouth, England. Great Yarmouth, also called Yarmouth, is a seaside resort town in Norfolk.
See again, I'm confused now. Because like all these places like I'm not sure, Blackpool. I would have thought Blackpool be here, even though Blackpool is a seaside town. Like if you have a sea, not if you have a sea, you look like places like Lake District. These are places where you get a lot of people coming in almost all year round. You think you'd be okay, not poor. Again, I'm not trying to be sure. I'm not trying to say people are just poor for no reason, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not rich, by the way. I'm not rich because you start coming from me. I'm not rich. But Great Yarmouth, when I think of Great Yarmouth, I think of people going there for the weekend. People going for the quick end. People going for and yeah. I don't think they're in the top 3 poorest place in England.
The resort in England straddles the River Yare, some 32 kilometres east of Norwich. With a population of 38,693, it is the third most populous in Norfolk. Its reputation as a fishing industry flourishing with herring has waned. Even the oil rig industry is a shadow of its past. Today, visitors to Yarmouth are full of bitterness. Its Victorian houses at the resort are now covered by horrible leisure centres full of neons and fluorescent colours. There are junk foods everywhere. It's like the formerly amazing Empire Theatre has now been deliberately left to dereliction. 2. Harlepool, England. Winding up, we would love to talk about Harlepool, a port town in County Durham. This is the largest settlement and administrative centre of the borough of Harlepool. Harlepool is 51 kilometres southeast of Newcastle upon Tyne.
Is it Harlepool or Harlepool? Harlepool. Is it me or the way he's pronouncing it? It's kind of throwing me off. Harlepool. Am I thinking of the football team? Sorry. I've never heard of Harlepool.
Sad to say, this large port town is a classic example of a place scarred by deindustrialisation and subsequent abandonment for rot. This story is an open secret in the northeast of England. Going by the BBC's recent report on that town, which highlighted the enormous difficulties residents of Harlepool are experiencing as a result of universal credit, the town can't avoid being the second poorest place in the UK. 1. Jaywick.
Where's that?
We conclude this list with Jaywick topping the list of the 10 poorest places in the UK. This is a coastal village in the Tendring district of Essex. It's 3.2 kilometres west of Clacton-on-Sea and lies on the North Sea coast of England. The town, built as a holiday resort for Londoners, is about 96 kilometres from London and 26 kilometres from Colchester. Over time, Jaywick's situation has deteriorated to the extent that it has become the most deprived area in the country for over 10 consecutive years. Jaywick is worse than all other places mentioned here in all aspects, such that it has become a sore for deprivation and suffering. Everywhere in this village you will find beer cans, cigarette butts, spliffs and condoms buried in the fine golden sands. The village's challenge with unemployment and flooding reduces its chance of equalling other places in the UK, and this has defied all attempts by the local council to transform the area. All hope is not lost for these 10 poorest places in the UK.
I'm not gonna lie, that kind of shocked me, because I was thinking of places that, near Liverpool, because Liverpool, there's some part of Liverpool that's very rich, and there's some part that's like, what the fuck? Same as Manchester, or in Birmingham. That's why I kind of thought, I didn't think of all these places near Cheshire. What? Again, I think it's more of the population. I think that's how they measure it, by the population. There's some places that they have small population and the crime rate is just higher, which makes sense. But yeah, that was very interesting to see. Let me know the ones that shocked you the most. Jaywick shocked me. I don't know where Jaywick is. I've never heard of Jaywick, so I didn't think Jaywick was going to be first. Comment down below. Let me know what else you want to see, and I'll try to react to it. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.